Hi, this is Paul. One of the ideas that I've been kicking around for a while but haven't done much with is the idea of doing some conferences at Living Stones. And the idea would be that these would be estuary heavy conferences, probably in format similar to what was done at Northwest Estuary up in Olympia, Washington. Our facility at Living Stones is small. We're right next to an interstate, and there are plenty of hotels and things like that in Sacramento. I'm sure that there are campgrounds and stuff around too. I've never camped around Sacramento because I live here, but Airbnbs and whatnot. And what I'd like to do is think a lot about the conference format and doing probably smaller, more intimate conferences. Now, I've done retreats at my sister's place, and that was nice, but that's limited to usually about a dozen people. That's what you can kind of do with a retreat setting. And even with a dozen people with estuary, and sometimes you broke up into two smaller groups of six. But I think about group sizes basically between 50 and 100 for a conference, and where there would be, a lot of access to, I think, a select number of speakers. It wouldn't be a conference in which there's just a lot of talking at, but there'd be much more talking with, and also thinking about having some people from basically the TLC, people who are, have channels here. And financially, the difficulty with conferences is that financially, once people make their living doing conferences, it means that you need a certain level of honoraria, expenses, and so forth for a conference to work, which tends to push the conference sizes up higher. So these are some of the things I want to play with. And so what I've done is I just made a simple little Google form where you can leave names. And so I'm just getting information from you. I've got some ideas of some people that I'd like to see come. And also, but you all probably have ideas that I haven't thought of. And then, maybe I'll do a poll or something after that. There's obviously the Midwestuary that's coming in August that I'll be speaking at. There's another conference in October in Western North Carolina. I have one more I get 4 weeks of estuary leave, as it were, from Living Stones. I've used 3 of them this year already. And there's both going to be a conference at the beginning of November in Europe, and there's a conference in North Carolina in October. And I'm still on the fence if I'll do another estuary retreat at my sister's place. And a lot of that depends on sort of what my schedule this summer is going to be, my wife's vacation time, et cetera, et cetera. So I just sort of made this form so that you could leave input in the form. You can also leave input in the comment section of this video, and it'll sort of continue to forward my thinking about what kind of events we could do at Living Stones. We've got this facility. It's underused. There's a fair amount of space for breakout rooms. It's actually quite ideally located. Sacramento Airport is big enough to get cheap tickets in, but not so massive that it's a massive metropolitan area that it's a pain to get in and out of. But Sacramento is just sort of the right size city to that you sort of have everything, but it's not like New York or San Francisco or Los Angeles where things are so massive that everything just gets in the way. And we're basically midway between Seattle and Los Angeles. Not midway between Seattle, but there's Seattle, Portland, Los Angeles. Colorado's not too far away. Flights into San Francisco or Sacramento itself. So it's a pretty good spot to do conferences. And, if I could do this in such a way to, bring in some income for Living Stones, that would be helpful. So that's sort of my thinking. So I'm looking for feedback and input. So leave a comment, fill out the little estuary conference form. I'll put the link to that in the notes below, and let me know what you think.